In this video, I'm going to show you how to plot the data for star magnitudes using Excel. First thing we're going to want to do is go down to our Windows menu and then type in Excel and then open that app. Next thing we're going to do is open up a blank workbook, and then that's going to bring us to our spreadsheet. We're going to go into the titles up here, and I'm going to copy and paste these. And when I get over to Excel, I'm going to paste this using the match destination formatting. If you keep source formatting, sometimes it doesn't look correct. So I'm going to do this. One of the things you'll notice is in your B and C column, you're not able to see the words. A trick for this is if you double click the line in between the letters, wherever this arrow pops up, if you double click that, then that will actually spread your column length for you to be able to see that. And then we can do that for each of those. Next thing we're going to do is go back to our chart here, and we're going to copy in this data one column at a time. I'm going to start first with the star column data. We're not going to use the sun for this section. We're just going to use the names. I'm going to right click and copy, go back to my spreadsheet, and we're going to right click, paste using match destination theme. Remember, you can double click up here and that will adjust your width of your column for you. We're going to do the same thing for these next three rows. So you're going to skip the value for the sun and then right click, copy, right click. We're going to paste using match destination formatting. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a chance to do that really quick. Go ahead and pause the video, and then you can finish that. Once I have all my data points plotted on here, then I can actually go ahead and highlight all of my values, and then we can click the center button up here, and that'll just kind of clean up the numbers and make them look a little bit better. The first thing we want to do is make a bar graph using our distance from Earth. The way I'm going to do this is click in the first cell. I'm going to drag all the way down while still holding my mouse clicked, and that's going to highlight all those cells. And I'm going to go back up to the top here, and I'm going to click Insert, and then we're going to click right here where it shows Insert Column or Bar Chart. And when I click on that arrow, I'm going to select my first one, and I've got my first graph ready to go. Notice it has a title, it has the values over here, and then it's got your different stars at the bottom as well. Once you have your graph made, we can right click on the graph and then copy, and then we can go back into Microsoft Word and we can paste our graph into the space right here. And then we can go ahead and start on the next one. For my next graph, what I'm going to do is plot a line graph using absolute and apparent magnitude. We're going to start in the first cell here. We're going to click, and while still holding the mouse, we're going to drag all the way down until we've highlighted all of the values. We're going to go back up to Insert, and we're going to find the line graph this time, which is right below the bar graph. And I'm going to click the 2D line. And this is going to go ahead and show us the graph for these two values. We do need to go ahead and edit the title here. The way you can do that is just click on this, and then we can give it a title like absolute magnitude versus apparent magnitude. And then we can do the same thing once that's created. Right click, copy, and then go into here, right click, paste, and then we can edit that as needed to make it look right, and then put it where we need to. I'm going to click and drag this out of the way once I'm done with that. And for the last graph, we're going to use distance from Earth and apparent magnitude. I'm going to go ahead and highlight both of these columns the same way we have. We're going to go up to Insert, and we are going to do the same thing here. We're going to click on the down, and then we're going to click the first 2D line that shows up. For this graph, we want to change some of the settings. Because we're not able to really see the differences on apparent magnitude because the scale is so big for our distance from Earth. The way we're going to do this is we're going to click on the blue line that was created and make sure that it just highlights those points like this. And then once we do that, we're going to right click on that and then format data series. That's going to bring up this chart over here. And we're going to change series option. If it's not already clicked, click right here on these 3 bars. And we're going to just change that to secondary axis, just like that. And then that will actually allow us to see that for the scale here on the side. From the same menu, if we go here to series option and we click on this down arrow, if we click right here on secondary vertical value axis, then what we can do is go back over to these 3 bars here, and then we can scroll down and we're going to look for values in reverse order. Since apparent magnitude is using brightness for us, it helps to look at this graph as it's going down, it's getting dimmer. And that's just an easier way for us to visualize this. Last thing we want to do is go ahead and give this a title here. And then we're going to call that apparent magnitude versus distance from Earth. And then once we have that here, we can just go ahead and right click copy and then back into our Word file, and then we can paste that in. And then now you have all of your charts.